Hey guys, it's Troy from Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm here in my self-isolation quarantine area. This is going second week, going on the third week, I believe, of staying away from people, which not a bad thing sometimes. I have a treat for you guys. I am going to be talking with Lenny and Beto from Real Screeners, another local to El Paso YouTube duo. They do a lot of movie reviews. We used to do a lot of movie reviews. Ran out of time lately. We're going to try to get back into that once the quarantine's lifted and theaters are open. So I just want to remind you guys, please subscribe to us. It does actually help the algorithms a lot. The more people see us, the better. Share these with your friends if you enjoy them. Hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we put up a new video. I am going to go ahead and go over to the video with the Real Screeners, and hope you guys enjoy. Watch the whole thing. Thanks.
Real Screeners are back, and this time we brought some friends. We have Troy from Zia Comics. What's up, Troy?
Hey, how's it going?
Troy?
Yeah, and as you can see, he's also the organizer of El Paso Comic Con and Las Cruces Comic Con, so we're excited to have him on our show. And of course, you know, whenever you talk about quarantining, you talk about binge watching. And so this time we're going to talk about Netflix binge watching and what we've been doing in our off time as far as entertainment. So again, Troy, thanks for being on our show. And Beto, what have you been doing during this time?
All right. Okay. I guess I'll jump right in and start with what I've been watching. I literally about 15, 20 minutes ago watched the last episode of the second season of Altered Carbon, which was released about a month ago or so on Netflix. But I hadn't seen the first season, so I spent a long time watching the first season, the second season, finally finished it. And man, this is such a dense and such a layered show. It's a show that demands your undivided attention. It's a show that is, I like the first season better than the second season, I have to say.
Agreed.
Yeah, you've seen the first season, Troy, right?
Yeah, I really liked the first season. The second season wasn't as compelling for me. I'm about halfway through it, and if I don't finish it, I'm not going to be upset.
So I was thinking about this, you know, it's a lot. It was a lot to think about in just 20 minutes, and I came up with, you know, the reason I think the first season is stronger is because it has a lot more intrigue and things to discover. This is a show that has a lot of twists and turns, and I like it for that reason. So I liken the first season to like Ridley Scott, particularly like Blade Runner and Alien, and then the second season is more like Wachowskis, you know, the Wachowski brothers with like The Matrix. Although both seasons have, you know, characteristics or tones that, you know, we can compare to The Matrix, but basically it's a sci-fi show. There's also some anime influences in there. A lot of Ghost in the Shell. And so the premise of the show, for those of you that have not seen it, basically in the future, every human who was born can download their consciousness into a little chip that they call a stack. And so basically you never die, because as long as that stack is okay, you can just be put into a different body, which in the show they call sleeves. It's a show about power struggles, and it's like a detective story as well, and it has some film noir elements. In the new season, in the second season, Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon in the Avengers, he plays the main character. Takeshi Kovacs is his name. Good acting all throughout, solid storyline. The second season just falls kind of short for me a little bit, because it just got a little convoluted, and it's just really hard to follow at times because there's so much information, and that's my feeling about it. But overall, if you're a sci-fi fan and you like The Matrix and you like, you know, Ridley Scott material, James Cameron stuff, you should watch Altered Carbon, in my opinion.
Do you feel like?
I was gonna say, I think the second season kind of has that sophomore slump thing. You know, the first season it grabs you because it's all new. This is stuff you haven't seen before, and then the second season you're already used to that stuff that they introduced in the first season. So the second season has to really step it up to keep that same level of excitement. And like you said, I mean, the second season, great acting. The cinematography was good. It just it's not a new concept to me anymore, and I'm just kind of meh about the second season.
I was going to say, do you think that maybe they wrote themselves into a corner, or do you think they're like maybe overthinking it and trying to be a little too crazy?
I think it's just more the same from the first season, and it doesn't raise the bar from the first season. I mean, it's just as good as the first season, but the first season was groundbreaking, so it's kind of hard to follow up.
Exactly. I think it's just like rehashing of the first, and then again, I just felt like there was more to look forward to, like more surprises. The twists and turns were like more, I don't know, engaging, I guess. And I think that the second season followed the love story a little too much. There's a love story at the center of the second season, and
darn those love stories.
Well,
they're getting away the action.
It's just that it wasn't the focus of the first one as much, I guess, as it was the second season, and I think that kind of detracted from other fun aspects for me. But that's just the way I felt anyway.
That and the whole thing with the sleeves, you know, it can be the same character played by a different actor. Sometimes that's hard to follow from season to season because you went from, you know, I can't remember the actor from the first season to Anthony Mackie, completely different look, but in your mind you have to make that connection. Oh, that's the same guy.
That's the same guy, yeah. So the actor in the first season was played by Joel Kinnaman. But yeah, like that's another point. That's a very good point because you have the same personality, the same mind, but in a different body, and that happens a lot. So it's hard to keep track of who's who. You know.
Very cerebral. You have to pay attention while you're watching it.
Yeah, in fact, that's what Beto had told me yesterday. He was like, it's one of those shows where, you know, like The Matrix, right? Where you have to be stuck to every single word or else you're going to miss something vital.
Yep.
Yes. But you know what? Overall, I liked it. I got to say that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it overall. But anyway.
Yeah, if you've already watched everything else on Netflix, you go ahead and watch that, the second season. The first season, definitely you should watch.
Yes, I agree.
So what else have let's see, you've been watching, what have you been watching, Lenny?
Well, you know, it's been kind of crazy in my household with trying to teach and then corral these preschoolers I have here, but when I do get a chance, I'm watching and it's kind of weird, right? Because I'm a Marvel guy, but I was going through Netflix and I thought, you know, The Flash was a CW show that I heard was pretty good at the beginning, so I've got time. Let's go check out to see what it's all about. And I'm on the third season right now, and I have mixed feelings about that show. I mean, I love the physics, and I love, especially in the first two seasons, they have this kind of overarching backstory or subplot that they tease at the end of every episode, and as the season progresses, they kind of like unfold that gradually, and to me, I like that more than the normal plot lines in every episode because I kind of feel like the episodes are very cookie cutter, right? And the dialogue can be a little cliched and maybe corny at times. And then there's like a love angle where I'm just like, I'm just gonna fast forward through that, you know. But for the most part, I don't know why. Like I have on paper, you would think this is not a show that engages me, but I'm on season 3 now, and I'm just interested to see what's going to happen next. And I think they do a really good job of engaging you with those subplots. So that's what I've been doing. I did watch also the third season of Castlevania, and I love that show. I was never a Castlevania player, right? But I love a good narrative. And, you know, there's so many things that they do right about that show. I will say that it is an adult-themed show for sure, and you will see that in the third season for sure. And the animation is fantastic. The themes are very hard-hitting and real and deep. The first season I thought was at some point slow, but it was still engaging because it dealt with Dracula trying to get revenge on humans, and I won't say why. And then, of course, you have these characters that are trying to fight him. The second season so far to me has been the best one. It's when everything really ramps up. And then the third season is like the aftermath of that major conflict, and it also acts as kind of a bridge. You could tell that the third season is really like a transition to the next step in that season. So the third season didn't really do it too much for me, but still, I highly recommend that show to anybody.
Cool.
Going back to the CW thing with Flash, have you watched any of the other CW DC related shows?
You know, I haven't because okay. So let me just really quickly. My experience with the CW was I watched so many seasons of Smallville, and I know I said in the Flash I fast forward through some of the mushy parts, but I was hooked on the romantic part of Smallville. And that was my only experience, because after that I kind of saw bits and pieces of like Green Arrow, and I forgot what the other show was, but I kind of felt like it was kind of cheesy, so I stayed away. And I'm not just a DC fan in general, so this is only my second show, and I'm sure there are a lot of references in the Flash that I'm just not getting.
Yeah, they do a lot of I don't want to say they do a lot of crossover between
Right.
Arrow and Supergirl and Flash. And I what's the other one? Something of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow. I haven't watched any
yeah.
of them. I haven't watched any Legends of Tomorrow, but I know they do a lot of crossover, and they do a lot of Easter egg reference type stuff in those shows. So if you're a fan of catching like little name drops, you'll like the other shows.
That's a solid point, because you can definitely see them doing that. Even me not knowing DC, I can tell like, okay, this is a connection. This is an Easter egg. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, at least watch the first 2 seasons of Arrow. After that, it kind of jumps the shark, just like with Flash.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, I quit watching all the CW shows a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, that's kind of like why I haven't seen any of them actually, and it's because I guess the CW has that reputation, or I guess for me at least, of having like teeny boppy kind of shows a little bit.
It's very kitschy.
Yeah, but
But I mean, but speaking of the CW shows and Supergirl, I do want to plug this in. At our high school that we teach at, we ran a small little Comic-Con, and we were able to get one of the villains from Supergirl. Her name is Jessica Mraz. That's the actress, and she played Menagerie for about three episodes on Supergirl, and we were able to get her because she graduated from our high school. So
sweet.
We were very fortunate to have that. So that was kind of like our connection, I guess, to the CW.
That's right. Yeah,
9 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
You mentioned Castlevania, by the way.
Vania or Vanya? You said it both.
Vania.
They probably say.
I think you said Castlevania when you had the wine in your hand.
That's right.
To downplay us a little.
Are you sure it's wine?
I'm not sure.
That is grape juice. Yeah, you mentioned that it's not for kids, or that it's very adult. That's one thing that I actually forgot to mention about Altered Carbon. That show is graphic in every way, shape, and form.
Not for kids. Not for kids at all.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, and it's
season 1 was especially made for women. Definitely
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But also
the dude only owns like one shirt.
Also for men, I would venture to say yes. But anyway, yeah.
All right. So what about you, Troy? What have you been dipping into?
I've been watching a lot of trash stuff on Netflix. All the Jerry Springer types of, like I was talking a little earlier about Tiger King. I think everybody in America has probably seen or heard about Tiger King.
I've heard so many things about it. My students keep talking about it.
Oh my God.
You have to watch it. You have to watch it.
My wife has watched it.
It is, dude, it's a roller coaster Jerry Springer type show. Every episode you go from hating this character to the next episode you hate this guy, and then they bring it back. Oh wait, I hate this guy again, and the only thing I can say is Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Oh, because
when you watch it, you'll understand what I'm saying. Yeah, it's.
My wife said that someone dies in it, so I guess that's what it is.
Oh yeah, and it's just so twisted. And what they don't tell you, well, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but there's some alligators die. Those were Michael Jackson's ex-alligators. Yeah, he used to own them. And a lot of these famous people who own the big cats bought them from one of the people on the show.
Okay.
Like Shaq is trying to distance himself from that big time right now.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just we watched the first episode. I mean, when it first hit, because we'd watched everything else on Netflix. So yeah, we'll give this a shot. And we were up to like 4 a.m. because we had to see the next one. And then when it ended, I was like, oh. I want
to. I hear the main guy. I hear he has a very compelling backstory, right?
Oh, that guy's got his backstory is so twisted, and you keep finding out more and more as time goes on. Stuff that wasn't even in the show. Yeah, Joe. He goes by Joe Exotic. So
Joe Exotic.
Yeah, he was married to 2 guys at one time. I'll let you watch it. Like I said, it's a roller coaster train wreck. You can't stop watching it. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think that's on my to watch list. Yeah.
My wife was saying that you really get to see kind of the fanaticism on both sides of the issue, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, because they talk about the mistreatment of the big cats, and then basically the commercialization of raising them and letting people come in and pet them, and
But it turns into like a trial thing, right? Or
it's almost like a true life crime serial type thing. I'll throw it back to you. Like you were talking about, don't fuck with cats on the internet.
Which it blew my mind. That show.
This will blow your mind just as much, if not more.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I guess you've watched that one also. The don't F with cats.
I've heard about it.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I heard it's crazy.
It's a show that really you just can't. You wouldn't think that things like that would happen, you know?
I thought it was a Blair Witch fake type thing.
It's so crazy.
No, it really happened.
It says a lot about I guess like the power of our social networking online, you know, and what you can do and what you're capable of doing through social media. It's crazy. It's just mind-blowing. But anyway.
So what else you guys been watching?
That's pretty much it. Our most recent video that we released was our funniest movies of all time. Not so much, I guess, the most acclaimed comedies per se, but just what we thought were our favorite comedies. What made us laugh the most, right? So, Beto, do you want to mention a couple of the ones that were highlights on your list?
Oh, sure. So, wow, you caught me off guard with that question. I wasn't thinking about that. On my list, what did I have? Well, for
Mel Brooks,
one thing,
right?
Yeah. I had a couple of Mel Brooks movies on there. I think I had Spaceballs, and then my favorite comedy of all time was Young Frankenstein. I had Airplane on there. I had Coming to America on there.
Yeah.
Solid choices.
Yeah. I had some. Austin Powers. Yeah.
No Big Lebowski. Nobody had Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, I had Big Lebowski. I had Office Space. See, you opened up the you opened up that genre of like what are those movies called? Cult classics, I guess. Cult comedies. Yeah. I had a couple of them too.
Wasn't Lebowski like your number 4 or 3?
It was like number 3, maybe number
something
4,
like that.
number 3. Yeah, it was high up there on my list. I love The Big Lebowski. It just brings a lot of memories. Yeah, very nostalgic.
Yeah, I had a couple of the same movies that Beto did, as far as like, let's say, Coming to America, and for sure Spaceballs. I would add that I also had, I kind of like, I like silly, campy comedy. So I had things in there like The Waterboy. I love that movie, The Waterboy. So quotable. And I had Zoolander in there, another quotable movie, which I didn't like until the second viewing for some reason. But I had that one. Of course, you had Ghostbusters, the classic, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I want to say that my number one was South Park, bigger,
Better.
better, and uncut. There you go. I was like, was it better? But yeah. We're talking about laugh value, okay? Because I'm into some toilet bowl humor. I don't watch as much as I used to, but
Nobody had stoner movies. There was no Danny McBride or Seth Rogen
or Half Baked.
Pineapple Express or
no,
Fist Way.
Did I have a Seth Rogen? No, I didn't have a Seth. You had Superbad, Lenny.
Superbad. Well, Superbad was one of my honorable mentions that we cut out of the video because it was getting too long.
Oh, gotcha. No, I love Seth Rogen though, and I love Judd Apatow. So,
like,
what was the one with Danny McBride and Franco and all those? Was it End of the World or?
The End. This is the end.
This is the end. Yeah.
This is the end. Yeah. Or like
just so meta on that one.
Oh yeah.
Everybody making fun of it. Michael Cera was just genius.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really.
I guess we're very nostalgic when it comes to like our favorites. Because if you look at our channel and our favorites lists, a lot of them are from like, let's say 90s or early 2000s and stuff. Yeah.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm just trying to think what my top 10 would be. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles have to be up there.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a Christmas Vacation, National Lampoons, and I think Lenny had Home Alone on
there. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son loves that movie.
Troy, you mentioned that you recently saw Parasite, right?
Yeah, it was on after it won all the awards. I've been meaning to see it, and it popped up on the pay-per-view, and I was at home, so I paid my fee, and we watched Parasite. I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Talk about another movie that makes you think. Yeah.
Not based a lot in reality, but it was still a decent movie.
Right. It's very hyperbolic in what it's trying to.
Yeah, that's the word.
Right?
I don't know big words, but hyperbolic is a good one.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It deserved the awards. I
just got the meeting. This meeting has been upgraded by the host and now includes unlimited minutes. Oh.
I didn't do that, but okay.
Maybe what they're doing is it's one of those features where like, they're just, it's like a default now because everyone's using it for school and stuff.
That could be.
Okay.
And thank you, Zoom, then.
Yeah, thank you.
We're taping this on Zoom in case people didn't know.
So I'm sorry, Beto, or was it Troy who was talking about Parasite right now?
Both of us.
Yeah. I think that you guys, the last thing you mentioned was how hyperbolic it was. I love that movie.
Oh, Troy, you said that it deserved all the awards.
Awards, yeah. The was the Oscars, yeah. After a while, I didn't even realize that it was subtitled. I didn't realize I was reading it. I was so into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And for something like that, because usually I hate to read my movies, but that one, it caught me so much into it that I didn't even realize until afterwards. I was like, oh, I just read a whole movie.
What about you, Bethel? You loved it, right?
I really did. I really loved the way that it combined all these genres very seamlessly. I think it captured horror well. I think it captured, comedy well as well, and I liked the social commentary,
I think that's what I liked.
So yeah, I thought it was pretty flawless.
Yeah, you guys should have seen Beto before and during it was awarded, best picture. Okay,
it's because it was kind of like the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Of sorts.
Who did it go up against? What other movies were up for best
Well,
picture?
I think the favorites were Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and 1917, and
I haven't seen 1917.
Was Jojo Rabbit nominated for best picture?
Jojo Rabbit was nominated for best picture, but it wasn't one of the favorites, I think, to win.
What about the one where they got divorced? What was that called?
Yeah, Marriage Story.
There you go.
That one as well. And so
that was Adam Driver, right?
Joker. Yeah, and then Joker.
Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
Oh, it beat out Joker. Wow, strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
it was funny. Like if you go on our Instagram, you'll see the video I posted. I recorded Beto's reaction, like
celebratory.
Right before, there was like a dramatic pause right before she announced the winner, and he was like this. And then when they announced it, he was like, yes, yes.
Wow.
Awesome.
Man,
It was awesome.
that was
Priceless reaction.
I loved it. I was so happy that it won and that it got the recognition that it deserved. It was really my favorite movie, and so I didn't think it was going to win. So I was caught by surprise for sure.
Yeah, no, it's good. It was good stuff.
Yeah, see,
I watched it.
I tried to watch Jojo Rabbit, and I couldn't. About 20 minutes into it, I turned it off. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I watched the whole thing, and I was just kind of meh. So, yeah, Parasite, against those guys, I think Parasite actually deserved it more than they did.
Well, I'm glad you think so, Troy.
I'm Team Parasite. So, yeah, I'm looking at the top 10 list on Netflix right now. And Tiger King, of course, number one. I don't know how long it's going to stay because they got a new docu-series coming out about drugs. Some drug lab people were actually using the drugs they were supposed to be testing. But
oh, wow.
The surprise was Ozark. I mean, have you guys watched any? I think it's on its third season now. Have you seen Ozark at all?
I saw the first season. I saw the first season way back in the day, and I started the second. I think I probably got through like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the second season, and then I just got sidetracked. It wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it, because it definitely is. I love anything that's film noirish or mystery, crime and mystery, or even like yeah, within that genre, I guess, and Ozark definitely falls into some of those areas. But I like Jason Bateman and I like Laura Linney, so.
I like Jason Bateman as a comedic actor, and I was really surprised at how well he did playing a serious role. Yeah, he really blew me away in Ozark. And after the second season, where it ended with them getting the Riverboat Casino, I was thinking, well, where are they going to go from here? And then the third season came out. I said, I'll give it a watch. Binged it. I couldn't stop. We watched it all the way through. And I don't know if it's the writing or the acting or a combination of both, but man, that show is just, it's so compelling. Once you start watching it, I at least for me, I want to see the next episode right away. I was upset when the season ended.
Yeah, I remember how suspenseful it was. And I remember also that what captivated me about the first season, at least, was the way that he would put his family in peril, the way that he would allow certain things to happen to his wife and kids. And that really, really kept me
and the family stepped up each time.
Yeah, like they all were just thrown into this crazy situation that they all have to like deal with. And yeah, those kids are going to be messed up for life.
Well, season 3, you'll find out they're kind of buying into the whole lifestyle. They're kind of becoming better at it than the parents are. And the season ender for season 3, I won't tell you, but it ends on such a oh my God, like Red Wedding, Game of Thrones type ending.
Oh wow!
You're just like, you watch it, you're like, oh crap. And now you got to probably wait another 2 years for season 4.
Like Breaking Bad style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna be waiting for a lot of seasons for a long time. Like I was looking forward to the next season of Stranger Things, for example.
Oh man, me too.
Production is halted on almost everything.
Pushed back. Yeah.
So what do you guys think? I know all the movie theaters are closed pretty much nationwide. Have you been following that they're talking about releasing movies like almost on demand, like digital first? So like they're talking about Black Widow and I think Wonder Woman.
Right.
They're thinking about releasing digital so you can stay at home, pay the same amount you would pay for a ticket in a theater and watch it from your couch.
Well, I tell you what, I've already watched one of those early releases, right? I watched Sonic the Hedgehog the other night with my family because I have little kids who like blue things that run really fast. And so, yeah, I'm trying to take advantage. I'm trying to jump on this wave, right? And so Sonic, we enjoyed. I mean, if I were to really critique it, I don't know. I don't think it was all that good, but my kids loved it. Onward's already out on Prime Video. You can buy that one.
Yeah, well, actually, I think it's on the Disney subscription.
I'm sorry?
I think it's part of Disney subscription. Also, you can just watch it. If you have that subscription, you can watch
Disney
it.
Plus. Okay,
Yeah.
we have that, so I guess I need to check it out because I haven't dipped on a Disney Plus in a while. But we watched Onward. That was one of those movies where I did not expect to be tearing up like every 20, 30 minutes for sure. So that's on there. I had come across a headline, Troy, where it said that someone had said that if Black Widow were to get a digital release, it would be an embarrassment. Did you guys ever come across that?
Yeah, I read about that. And that's kind of like my feeling with it too. I mean, I'm a big proponent of movies being shown in a big screen or on a big screen, especially movies like Marvel films or DC films. They're just not appreciated as much in my eyes. And so I don't mind waiting. I do, but I don't, because I really was looking forward to watching them. But I know that for a while they were considering releasing Wonder Woman, the sequel to Wonder Woman, and I think that they decided not to.
That's a good move. That needs to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
See, I prefer watching in my house. I'd rather sit on my couch in my underwear with my own popcorn and what. But I think what the issue is going to be is the price, because they did this with Bloodshot. Bloodshot is available on demand right now, but they're charging like $20 to rent to watch it, and that's okay. I'll wait. I won't.
I want it.
$5. I'll rent it and watch it at home.
Right.
I won't pay $20.
Yeah, $20 seems a little bit
exorbitant.
I wanted to watch The Hunt, and it was also $20, and I wasn't going to pay $20 to watch it. So.
Yeah, I think they need to take that into account when they do this, is the pricing, because anything over $5-6, people are just going to wait and get it from Redbox or go and watch it in the theater for the same price.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. But,
probably the reason, though, is because at the theater you would pay normally about $20 if you go watch a movie with your family, if not more. So they're thinking, oh well, we can charge $20 because this is still in the theater.
I'll spend more than that at concessions.
Yeah.
So I know, Beto, you said you'd rather sit in the theater. What is it about watching in a theater that makes the experience better for you?
Oh God.
I mean, is it the big screen, the big sound, the environment?
I think it's just the setting. Overall, the darkened theater, the large big screen, the amazing surround sound, or the sound system in general, and just the. God, I'm thinking about it now, and I miss going to the Alamo Drafthouse to watch movies.
I know, yeah.
Just like everything, just buying popcorn or getting a drink or getting food and just the whole experience, the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Troy. When I think about the joy of being in the theater, I think of two movies in the last year or so. I remember Into the Spider-Verse, how blown away my mind was, and when I watched it on TV, obviously not the same experience for me.
Not the same. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yes.
That's a perfect example.
There's something to be said for that big screen.
In the theater.
But there's also something to be said being able to pause and go to the bathroom and come back and start again.
That's true, right? You can't do that in the theater.
Yeah, because there's been times in some of those movies now, regularly 2 to 3 hours. I mean, that's almost common. And if I get that big thing of Diet Coke about an hour in, I'm holding it because I need to go to the bathroom and I don't want to miss any of the movie.
Speaking of holding it, that's what I had to do with 1917, because again, watching it in the theater, it was so immersive with the sound and the visuals and the big screen that I was not leaving.
And that brings me to my next point really quick, is that I like how in the theater you're sucked in. If I'm watching a movie at home and I'm a person that gets easily distracted, right? I'll be like, ooh, what's going on? In the theater, I feel like more in the zone, and I feel like I'm paying more attention. It's not the same when I watch it at home.
The one pet peeve I have against theaters is when you're watching a movie and there's always people around you who have the wrong reaction at the wrong time. They'll laugh at parts that are not supposed to be funny, or they'll get scared at parts that aren't really scary. That annoys the crap out of me. I don't
Maybe
understand.
it takes you out of the movie a little bit.
Yeah, it really, because then the rest, for the next 5 minutes, I'm thinking, this guy's an idiot. Why is he laughing? Somebody's died.
Or you can have the flip side of that coin. You can have the flip side when you're watching, say, maybe Endgame, and the
people
reaction.
Clap.
Yeah. Or like
there's that too.
When spoiler alert, when Tony Stark dies in Endgame,
what?
And everything is so cool. sorry.
How dare you?
I know, right?
For the 3 people in the world who haven't seen Endgame.
Never seen it, right? I remember watching that movie, and when he died, like right after he died, it was so quiet until you hear people sniffling, you hear people crying. There was a woman sobbing next to me. It was
nobody laughed.
I was like, yeah. So I mean, so that's the other side of the coin, right? Like
it's a communal experience. It's a communal experience for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm still a proponent. Maybe I'm a hermit. I'd just rather watch it by myself at home. But so I guess we'll see how that's going to go. Does the studio stand to make more money going on demand?
I'm bummed about it.
Yeah.
Or because that cuts out a lot of middlemen right there. They just go straight to digital.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see. So that's all the stuff on Netflix. What about, have you guys went back and watched any old stuff that you'd missed previously that might be streaming at one of the multiple streaming services?
Well, I think I've offered up everything that I've been able to watch.
Yeah. Like I said, I binged 2 seasons of Altered Carbon, which was it felt like I went on an odyssey, quite frankly. I haven't watched anything else. Are
there any movies maybe like that were supposed to come out this year that you were really anticipating?
Well, I really was hoping Black Widow.
Yeah.
I love David Harbour, and even with Hellboy bombing, I still like him as an actor, and I was hoping this would be his rebound movie. So I was hoping Black Widow would be good. Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, yeah.
She stole every scene she was in Batman vs. Superman. So I was really waiting to see another Wonder Woman movie. Bloodshot, I was hoping they could launch the Valiant universe on Vin Diesel's back, and then COVID had a little different plan for that. So
yeah,
Valiant cannot catch a break. Those guys are just cursed.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz surrounding A Quiet Place 2. The early Twitter comments were very, very positive. So I was really looking forward to A Quiet Place 2. And I was looking forward to the James Bond movie. I always mess up the title, though. I know I almost mess up.
They're all redundant.
Yeah, Die Another Day or Die Again.
Just James Bond.
No time to die. Was it like No Time to Die or something?
I think you're right. No Time to Die.
Yeah.
So, speaking of James Bond, what do you guys think about Daniel Craig as James Bond? Do you think he's living up to the role?
I think so. I mean, I'm not a big Bond geek, or expert, but no. I
mean, he's no George Lazenby, but.
Well, who?
I think he was in one movie. Yeah.
He was one fill-in, right?
I think it was the Casino Royale. One of those. Yeah. I'm not sure if he doesn't fit my idea of a Bond, and I don't know if that's because of his height or his blonde hair or what have you. But I mean, he's not going to be Bond forever, and they've been already talking about the next Bond.
Okay.
And there's a short list of people they've had, and there's actually a couple females I think on that list. Who do you guys think should be the next James Bond?
Okay, I'll go first.
I'm glad that you have someone. Yeah.
No. I'm a big fan of Chris Hemsworth. I know his name has been thrown around a lot. I think he'd be perfect for it. I think he has everything that is required. Of course, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking of Henry Cavill. I don't think he's the greatest actor, but I think he's
no.
thinking
No,
that the Witcher
no,
series,
no.
right? You didn't like him in The Witcher.
I have yet to see a worthy performance by Henry Cavill. I am
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Well, Witcher wasn't bad. He just grunts and swears a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris Hemsworth is a better choice.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't put that much thought into it, but when I think about it, I think of those two guys.
Yeah,
they were debating Eldris Alba. I wouldn't mind seeing Eldris
Yeah.
Alba.
Yeah, I have no problem with Idris. I think you need somebody with some gravitas. It's somebody that's going to own the screen while they're on it. And while Hemsworth, just judging on his Men in Black performance, I don't want James Bond to turn into a comedy.
Well, it could have been the writing in that movie too. I mean,
it could have been, but most of the
was
scenes,
stale.
most of the movies he's in, though, they've been playing up to his comedy chops lately, and not the seriousness. I mean, what's the last serious role Hemsworth was in? Yeah, I know you got to think, right?
Thor 2, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not even sure who I would pick to be the next Bond, but Elba would be on he'd be on my short list.
I mean, absolutely nothing against women, but I would not want to see, James Bond being a female character. I just think, if you want to go that route, absolutely. Female empowerment, I'm all for that. Maybe you just create your own character in the Bond universe or Bond-esque. But I think
that'd be cool, like a Bond spin-off, but not turn Bond into a
right, exactly.
character.
Well, 007 is not the only agent, so I mean, he could cross over with other agents.
009,
00 whatever, yeah. I just,
who knows?
I don't even have an answer to my own question. I'm not sure who I would pick as my James Bond.
I can't think of anybody. Like, I honestly can't think of someone that has the gravitas, like you said, the charisma, the kind of like
it's kind of like the look too,
the look and the sexual appeal and the this and the that. And
I take that back. I just thought of one. The dude who plays Lucifer on the TV series.
I haven't seen Lucifer. I don't remember. I haven't seen Lucifer. I know.
Well, while you're quarantined, dude, do yourself a favor and
That's what I've heard.
And watch it.
Yeah, Are you talking about Tom Ellis?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the accent already. He's got the look, and I think he could pull it off. But if you like Neil Gaiman, check out Lucifer. That TV show is pretty good.
All right, I will have to.
So yeah, that's my James Bond pick. I just thought of it.
Okay. Right. Kind of going back to the movies that I was looking forward to. I know Beto. This might not be very popular with Beto, but I was looking forward to Mulan. I know Beto's not really into the Disney remakes, the live action. I was looking forward to Mulan.
There's no
This one looks different though.
Okay, like maybe they're doing something different than just like a step-by-step remake of the cartoon.
Exactly. They're not just remaking a musical live action version of the film that already exists. It looks like it's going to be different and keeping to the same story overall, but it just, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be one of the better Disney remakes, live action remakes.
It looks good.
Well, there's no Mushu, so you don't have the dragon, you don't have the cricket. But they did introduce that new that witch woman who can turn into a phoenix or a bird or whatever. Yeah. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that one.
Okay. Hey, you know what? What do you think about Top Gun 2, Troy?
Oh, mixed feelings. I like young Tom Cruise, and then there was a period in the middle of his career where I just kind of lost interest in him. But he's starting to earn my respect again with some of the movies he's doing. Not so much the Mission Impossible stuff, but the
he's
other
a hit
stuff.
or miss for me. Yeah.
But Top Gun is just such a. I mean, who doesn't want to be a fighter pilot? So you get to live through that. And
Jennifer Connelly's back.
Yeah, with Maverick, I mean, you get to see him aged, but he's still one of the best pilots out there. I just hope it doesn't go the route of Iron Eagle 2. I want to see it be good and not just
yeah.
a cash grab on the name.
In Iron Eagle 2, didn't they kill the protagonist from part 1? Is that what they did?
You know, that's been so long ago, and I didn't like it that much. I don't remember.
And
I'm a big Lou Gossett Jr. fan, and
I don't remember
Iron Eagle 2.
Hey, speaking of Lou Gossett Jr.,
is he still alive?
Yeah, he did. Remember, he did the Watchmen.
I haven't watched. I've watched like the first episode.
Lou Gossett Jr. was in the Watchmen.
Yeah, he was the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, he was the.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first episode because it was free.
Yeah, so. and you know, I have mixed feelings about that show, but I was looking forward to a second season. And is it right that they're not going to do a second season?
I think that they said that they weren't going to. Yeah, man, I mean, the show received a lot of negative feedback or criticism from not from necessarily critics, but from viewers, like just regular.
It's probably
viewers.
Because they changed some major things and including a major character from the Watchmen. They switched up the game a little bit, and that probably put some people off.
Yeah. You know,
they ruined the Watchmen for me when that movie they made was, in my mind, it was an abomination. It didn't stay true to the book for me. I thought the book was so different than anything that had been put out at that point, and that movie, I watched it, and I'm like, that's not really what happened in the book. They changed so many things.
I think it's a hard book to adapt into a movie because it's so meta when it comes to superhero material, right?
Right, and then for a while in the graphic novel, they had that kind of like parallel story that was going on for a while.
The Black Corsair.
And I think that, you know, it would have been hard to adapt that, but I do agree with you, Troy. Like in the movie when they switched up what the main threat was and how it affected the city, I was like, why would you change that?
There was no reason to. Yeah. Why change things for no reason? And that's why I avoided Watchmen for a while.
I was gonna bring up how funny it is that they keep pushing back the Avatar films, and now even more. You know what I mean? Like, these movies have been pushed back like no other movie in movie history, probably.
Aren't they filming all three, the next three, all at the same time?
They better have the next 5 by now.
But that stopped.
Well, I know Cameron was a little upset when Avengers took over his box office title. So they're talking about re-releasing another Avatar cut to try to take that title back. I was like, just leave it alone.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's such a cash grab. Now, come on.
Just let it
go.
Man, I guess I don't even know when we're going to see those movies, you know?
Honestly, I'm fine if we don't. The first one was good enough standalone. I don't need to see another one.
True. And plus, we've waited so long. It's like, what's another, 10 years? Jeez.
We'll eventually get there.
I don't want to forget to mention the Umbrella Academy season 2. I mean, have you guys seen the first Umbrella Academy season?
Oh, God, yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
When is season 2 supposed to come out?
I don't know. Maybe have they even pushed it back to 2021? I'd have to check, but it's just like everything else is delayed.
Right?
Yeah. But talk about binge watching a show. I think I binged that in 2 days.
Have you read the story in the book, the trade paperbacks?
No, I haven't.
No.
That was my first exposure.
It's just as good as a show, if not better. The Umbrella Academy story is just so compelling. And what keeps popping up in my mind is there was 40-some kids that were born to unpregnant mothers during that time. He only had 7. Those other ones are floating around out there somewhere in the world. So I mean, he has the potential to pull them in as villains or sidekicks or whatever in future shows or future trade paperbacks.
Okay,
season 2 of season 2 of The Mandalorian too. I'm looking forward to.
That's right.
How did we forget The Mandalorian?
I know, right?
The
so many
Baby Yoda memes that it sparked.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the Darksaber got into his hands.
Giancarlo Esposito. Well, he was one of the main Empire guys who raided, or was part of the raid on Mandalore. And I don't know if you guys are steeped on your Star Wars.
I know
lore.
a little bit, but I'm not an expert on.
Well, there
that.
was
by no means. Yeah,
there's only been
same.
one Mandalorian who was a Jedi. He was the one who created the Darksaber. Something happened, and when he died, that Darksaber got put in the Jedi Temple. The Mandalorians wanted it back, so several hundred years later, they broke into the temple. They stole the Darksaber back. And the leader of the Mandalorians always has that Darksaber. That's kind of like their, instead of a crown, they have the Darksaber. And if you've watched Rebels, you'll see the Darksaber in Star Wars Rebels. And at one point, I think even Darth Maul took over the Mandalorians, and he had the Darksaber. That Darksaber was on Mandalore with Death Watch. I think Death Watch was the group that took over Mandalore. So when the Empire raided, they must have defeated Death Watch and whoever else on Mandalore. And I'm guessing Giancarlo Esposito was there, Moff Gideon, and grabbed the Darksaber. So now he has, I mean, we don't know if he's Force sensitive or he just has it or the whole story behind this, but.
Yeah, the last episode was awesome, though, yeah. Yeah,
the Darksaber is very important to Mandalorian lore. If you ever, and just Google it, you'll find it. Wikipedia, I'm sure, has it.
Do you think that they're going to delve into, like, the more background of the Mandalorian race at some point? Have you? I'm by the way, I'm excited about Rosario Dawson being in season 2.
Ahsoka Tano, yeah.
Well,
I'll just go out. I'll just say this now. If you guys like Star Wars, watch Star Wars Rebels. It is that 7 seasons of that cartoon is so much better than any movie that was ever produced about Star Wars. It leads up to the whole.
Really?
Yeah, it leads. It starts with when Anakin was still a Jedi, and Ahsoka was his Padawan, and it goes all the way up to the point pretty much right before he turns into Darth Vader. And then if you go to Star Wars Rebels after that, it's he's already Darth Vader, and Ahsoka Tano comes back because she left the Jedi Order at one point. Big controversy, but yeah, the Clone Wars and Rebels is better than any Star Wars movie that was ever produced or probably ever will be produced.
Those are big words, Troy.
There's so much lore and backstory in those cartoons. It's crazy. You think it's a cartoon, but you got to watch it and pay attention because there's so much name dropping and lore that they give you. There's a lot of Grievous is in there a lot of Dooku before he got killed. How the Emperor, went from the Senator to Emperor Palpatine. I'll stand behind those words. I'll put those 2 cartoons up against any one of the movies.
All right, that'll be a nice conversation point for the comments below.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Fight me, bro.
Let me ask you. Come at me, bro.
Hey, sorry, really quick, Lenny. I just got a message on my laptop that says that my disk is almost full.
I have the whole thing here, so if you guys miss anything,
I have a copy too. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, I was just going to ask Troy, which series do people watch first between those 2, and where can they find it?
Wow, I've been watching it off of Disney Plus. If you Google Star Wars timelines, if you really want to have a lot of time to waste, you can watch all the movies and then the cartoons in the timeline order, and it will explain a whole lot to you. But Rebels, I believe, is right. It's before New Hope because he hasn't turned into Vader yet. Okay. And then Rebels, I believe, takes place right before. It's somewhere after the third movie because Vader's in there quite a bit. Okay, and then there's another one called Resistance. I haven't got to that one yet. Okay. That takes place during Force Awakens, that timeline.
So where do the Clone Wars fall?
The Clone Wars is before he turns to Vader. Yeah, he's still a Jedi at that point.
I think between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, I want to say.
Ooh, man, that sounds right. Timeline.
Yeah, but Clone Wars. If you don't watch any of the other ones, watch Clone Wars. It fills in so many of the blanks that the movies left. It's mind blowing. I mean, if you're a Star Wars geek like I am, it's mind blowing how good those cartoons are.
I started Clone Wars but never finished it, so I have to get back to that.
And where can you watch it?
I've been watching off Disney Plus. I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else or not.
It was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's there anymore, but it's definitely on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, Disney's been pulling all their stuff back under their umbrella, so it might not be on Netflix anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I watched all 7 seasons of Clone Wars pretty much back to back. So
all we have to do is binge 14 seasons, basically.
Well, I think Clone Wars has 7, Rebels has 4, and then the movies in between, and then
okay. So 11 seasons of cartoons.
They're not so bad though, because they're short episodes, right? They're like 30-minute episodes.
20. Yeah. With the commercials cut out, they're like 20 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, Troy, before we go, and I apologize, I neglected to mention this at the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel?
No.
Yeah, no.
Don't
come to my channel.
It's YouTube/Zia Comics. It's pretty much an extension of my store, Zia Comics. I try to post videos from everything up there. I mean, we have how to play different board games, pop culture stuff where we just talk, like this video where we just talk about geeky, nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, just anything that I think is interesting and I make a video about, I put it up there. Like I said, it's just an extension of Zia Comics. Originally, it was to promote Zia Comics, and it just kind of took a life of its own from there. We did movie reviews for a while. That became too cumbersome, and you guys did a better job, so we just let you guys do that.
Oh, man. You should never stop that.
Yeah,
everyone can always use
is a long way to drive for us. I mean, we'd have to arrange with our camera guy and us to both go in and watch it. And then lately, the audience has been weird about giving reviews. It's been really hard to pull people in to talk about it.
It is a movie.
I don't understand that, but because before, and when we first started, everybody wanted to give their input. But it got a little difficult, and we might still do it again afterwards. But we just got so busy doing other things that it's hard for it, because El Paso is an hour drive for us both ways, and then all the editing and filming, everything on top of that, we just kind of put it on the back burner for now. We might revisit it later, but at this point, we haven't done any for a long time. We probably should. But yeah, that's what the YouTube channel is.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've obviously watched a couple of your episodes for sure, and you guys do a fantastic job. You have great equipment and good production value too. Can you talk about who does your production?
Well, a little bit of everybody. In the beginning, we had Raywork Productions, who did a lot of our movie reviews and other things, and then it got to be a little cumbersome trying to get that all coordinated. So I just started doing it myself. I bought some software online and self-taught myself how to do all that stuff. And I mean, it's still amateurish, but it's better than doing it off my iPhone and trying to use whatever came free with the phone to do it.
Right, like those free apps and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can check out his channel at. I just wanted to plug in his channel if you wanted to, Lenny.
YouTube/Zia Comics. ZIA
Right.
Comics.
Okay.
All right. Well, that wraps up our quarantine binge watching talk with our special guest, Troy. Thank you for joining us. It was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Leave your comments below on what you have been watching and what you think about what we think about, these shows. And as always, we're on social media at Facebook, we are Real Screeners, and Instagram, we are at real.screeners. And
all right. And thank you guys once again. And we'll see you next time for our real take on whatever we can watch during quarantine. See ya.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG,